Hello and welcome to this live stream. I'm flying the Bf109G-4. Hope you're having a good weekend. Not an expert on the G4. Definitely not an expert on the engine management of the G4. I flew it once just a few minutes ago and I cooked the engine. I got a kill, but I cooked the engine. I ran it at high power for too long. I'll try not to do that this time. Alright, we got something up there. Contrail. Someone's hightailing it. Way too high for me to get at him though. I'm going to head over towards the enemy airfield. I'll try and keep an eye on this guy. Oh, I add continuous mode. I can see him, all I have to do is follow his contrail, otherwise I'd be oblivious to his presence. I've just finished watching Gone with the Wind, released in 1939. It's Technicolor, the same kind of cinema technology as The Wizard of Oz, which I think was released in the same year. And man, that's a long movie. You really have to psych yourself up to watch it. It's like 4 hours long. It's very good though, and I recommend that you watch it. IR seems to be working for the most part in this flight, unlike last flight, so that's not going to be too much of an issue. Doing well over 600 k's an hour now. The plane's starting to buff it a little bit, so maybe about 620 would be the limit that you'd want to go to, not more than. Otherwise ailerons start to fall off and things like that. Heading to the enemy airfield. Cruise power about 61%. There's a plane over to my 1 o'clock. What is he? Bunch of planes over there. And I'm still at cruise power. Might as well mosey on over. And I don't know. I should really gain some altitude before I attend the party and try and identify something. At a glance, it looks like we've got, I was going to say 2 109s, but maybe not. Let's see. Alright, we've got a yak up top, and we've got 2 planes down here. 3 planes down here. Just going to gain some altitude. There's no enemies yet. Alright, I'm just going to check the chat tentatively so I don't crash or get shot down in the meantime. Oh, the logo, shit, thanks for reminding me. I've got to by default, turn that off. Very useful checking the chat. Thanks for that. I'll turn it off by default for next time. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep on flying with it on the screen. So the logo's off. What's the mission? Flying in a Bf109G-4 in January 1943, and there was an airfield down there. It's been destroyed. We got some planes up ahead, so there's a 109 in front of me, and then there's two guys ahead of him. Shortly after I left in the last stream, you took out, in the last stream, took a 110 out, failed to hit anything, flew their airfield, killed an IL-2, who must have been a few minutes from landing. Cool, good stuff. 110s are pretty good, they're very potent. So what do we have here? There's 4 planes. I'm right over our lines, over our defensive target. There's a 109 to my 1 o'clock. There's a bunch of planes down there. I should try and maintain altitude until I can see what's what. What is that? It's an FW. And what do we have down here though? What is that? What is that? That looks like yeah, I don't know. What is it? That's an LA5. I'm going to get it. He's down without a shot being fired. Oh dear, I just got hit. Not good, not good. Ethan Jack, Wings of Liberty. Yes, Wings of Liberty. Later, not sure about later. So I'm on right now. Probably, I don't know, for the next 20 minutes or something. Damn, not going to make it to the airfield. I'll definitely do 1 or 2 more flights. That one, as is often the case, fairly anticlimactic. So there's two axis positions left, and there's 1, 2, 3, Allied positions left. Significance of that is the game finishes when all of your enemies' positions are destroyed, or when they've destroyed all of your positions. Yeah, I was over friendly territory, so I didn't get captured or anything. The map always says that the airfield's being attacked just as I leave it, and then there's nothing. It's like, whoa, it's bloody nothing. There's the flak. Where's the plane? I need to spot the plane. He's up there somewhere. And yes, the developer diary, pretty bloody awesome. P51 nearly in beta. Yeah, that's right. So, who knows when, right? Maybe sooner than later. Tentatively, I think we're saying end of September. So some pretty awesome warbirds on the horizon. The P-38 Lightning, the P-51D Mustang, and the announcement of a few other things too. There's going to be some collector planes, and there's no announcement of what the planes are going to be, but by next year the planes should be available. 2 collector planes. Two collector planes, and people are speculating what are they going to be. Some people are saying, can it be a Hurricane? Can it be an Arado AR-234, the light reconnaissance jet bomber with the rearward facing periscope and the remote controlled tail gun? Arado AR-234, using the same engines as an ME-262. Could it be that? Could it be a Mosquito? Imagine a Mosquito. Or could it be a B-25 made flyable? Who knows, but whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be awesome. Yeah, the screenshots, Eve and Zach, amazing, just amazing. I think they did the aluminium look of the airframe particularly well. The skins are all in 4K detail, so just amazing. Good time. I'm just going to descend a bit. Rightly or wrongly, it's probably a bad habit, but maybe not. I've been most effective this way. I've been basically doing this, a cruise along at very low altitude, basically hugging the deck. And this seems to be the way that I get most of my victories. I've seen other people flawlessly execute boom and zoom, and also high altitude flying. And if you can figure out how to do that, that's probably a better way to go, because you can preserve energy, but it's also, I don't know, it's harder to spot anything when you're that high up. And what else in the developer diary today? There was the announcement that draw distance for aircraft and ships and that is going to be increased. We already knew it's going to be increased from 10 kilometres, which is what it is now, excuse me, up to 100 kilometres. And that's going to be most welcome. It'll mean, as I'm flying along right now, if there's something in front of me, which I can't see now, chances are I'll be able to see some evidence of it, like a contrail or a glint or a speck in the distance or whatever, once they increase the draw distance. That's going to be so awesome. I'm practically at the enemy's airfield now, so I better stop yakking. There's a plane over there heading towards the field. Let's go and check him out. And they're also doing something with the physiology to do with the stress, fatigue on the aircrew, on the pilots, to do with G-force and things like that. That's going to be pretty interesting. So that's going to add heaps more realism to the sim. Oh yeah, that's right. The killer feature, you can pin a photo to the cockpit just like in Cliffs of Dover. It's just amazing that they're adding all of these features. Oh boy, this guy's going to land at the airfield. I might just attack this guy on the airfield. I'm going to get shot down by flak though. But still, I've got 5 minutes left. Him. What was that? That was a P-39 Airacobra. That feature to add a picture to the cockpit, that's really excellent. I didn't ever think that I was going to see that in Great Battles series, but obviously they're going to add it. So just one of the best developer diaries I've seen in ages. Just so much good news. Right now, in my opinion, yeah, just a fantastic. I mean, it's a video game. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Damn, that's what happens when you cruise around near the enemy's airfield. What was that? It looks like an FW flew by and a PE2. It was probably an LA5 and a PE2. One more flight, I think. Thing is, this game finishes in 5 minutes. I'll have to change Miss Piggy. I'm not going to go for Miss Piggy this time. It credit me for the P-39. No, it didn't. He managed to unspawn in time. $37 Germany, 40 Soviet Union, so slightly in favour of Allies. The physiology thing is easy to make it it's easy to mess it up. I think I don't think they're going to mess it up, but it's easy to reduce the functionality, like the fluidity or the smoothness of the gameplay by adding in G-force effects if it's done poorly. I don't think they will do it poorly, but that's something that could potentially upset the game. there can be some really serious issues with your health from certain G-force effects. Like if you go upside down, if you try and pull out of a high-speed dive upside down, and so you pull negative Gs, if you pull like, doesn't have to be too much, like maybe 3 negative Gs, if you do that for maybe half a minute, you'll be screwed. All the capillaries in your eyes will burst and you won't be able to see. I mean, definitely one of the worst things with physiology is negative G, and I think they acknowledge that in the dev diary. Like even 1 negative G is terrible. Like try doing a handstand. Like if you were right now to stand up and do a handstand, that's 1 negative G, and just feel all the blood rush to your head. And yeah, that's 1 negative G. It's horrible. And then if anything more than that, like say 2 or 3, and you start to get health problems, which can be permanent. Alright, so there's going to be about 40 seconds to go until the next game. So let's just wait for that one. And I intend to do one more game and maybe call it quits after that. And there's also blackout and there's grey out. Grey out's not a big deal really. Blackout's not a... Hang on. Yeah, blackout is a big deal, I think. I think blackout is actually very bad for one's health. I think that, like, in terms of long-term health, I think blacking out during high G maneuvers or what have you is actually not good. I don't know what for. Probably cognitive function, memory, maybe short-term memory, long-term memory, whatever. But I don't think it's very good. Campo Bello. I'm trying to read. I'm trying to interpret what you've said there. Was heißt das auf Deutsch? What something, the something German. Okay, so 3 Allied airfields, 3 Axis airfields. Choose the closest one, maybe. So I was flying a G4 before. Could fly fly an F4, G2. I'm going to go with the closest airfield, and I'm going to go with an F4. F4 modified because it has the option to add a glass headrest for extra visibility. I'll actually just remove the headrest. It increases your rearward visibility. So I've got 1000 MG17. That's like 7.92mm machine gun and 220mm cannon rounds. Go probably 70-80% fuel. I forgot to check the season. I'll just go for the winter camo. August 42. 90 degrees. Temperature +20. I'm going to change the camo. go for this one. Okay, let's get started. There goes a Ju-88. So let me tell you some trivia, guys. Earlier today, I was watching a 4-hour movie from 1939, a colour movie called Gone with the Wind, and one of the main characters in Gone with the Wind is called Ashley Wilk, and Ashley Wilk is played by, I can't remember his name, but anyways, he got shot down and killed in 1942 by 5 Ju-88s. The main male actor, apart from Clark Gable in Gone with the Wind, shot down by 5 Ju-88s in 1942. Wilkes. Yeah, Ashley Wilkes, and I was trying to remember his the actor's his actual name, which I can't remember. So there's the runway there. It's a 109 taking off. And Clark Gable also had something to do with World War II. I think he made some films flying with the P-47D Thunderbolts and with B-17s, something along those lines. Some pretty good war footage in his documentary. That was in colour as well, and that's on YouTube. Alright, and we're airborne. Lee Howard, that's the one. Alright, so where am I going? That airfield just by the airfield at Stalingrad. Old Corps Marine, yeah, it was a flight on a BOAC DC-3 into Portugal, and Portugal was kind of a neutral place, if I'm not mistaken, and the Luftwaffe were keeping to a kind of a truce where we didn't shoot down their planes over Portugal and they didn't shoot down ours, and then at some point the air war heated up, and then they started shooting down planes in that area. But that's Stalingrad off in the distance, maybe to the 1 or 2 o'clock. Enemy airbase in there. Axis artillery just to the 11 o'clock. And I think there's some pretty good looking women in that movie, but I reckon that the best looking lady in the movie she's not in it, even though it's a 4-hour movie, she's not in it very much. In real life, her surname is Rhett, even though like Clark Gable's character is called Rhett, Rhett something or other. The sister of Ashley Wilkes is India. Her name's India. I reckon India was the hottest girl in the movie. And in real life, her surname was Rhett. Clark Gable's character's first name was Rhett. So there's all these kinds of things. It's really good. If you look on Wikipedia, you can see all the backstories to the actors and things like that. Okay, here's Stalingrad. And I'm just really kind of definitely in the danger zone here. This will probably be my last live flight for tonight, so I'll try and make it a good one, as always. But it's war, and war is chaos. Anything can happen. Got cruise power. A plane. Probably an FW. Heaps of planes. I reckon that's an FW on my 1 o'clock. Get a bit closer though. Could be in LA. That's a lag. Or a yak. But engine's not sounding too healthy. Got a few airfield options just up ahead. There's one just off to my right. I'll take that. Landing near the front line, risky business. But still, I reckon that means I should be able to jump into another plane fairly quickly. How's my descent? A little bit fast and a little bit high. Going to try and side slip a little bit, not too aggressively. Looking good. Going to even it out now. Coming down at idle. Going to round out. Going to fly level, and there's a plane on the nose. It's probably that one that shot me. 200, that's a little bit fast yet. Okay, and we're down. Let's jump in a new plane. What are they up there? Oh well, doesn't matter. So what happened there? I got hits on that one. I identified him, because at first I thought maybe he's an FW. I got hits on him, but then I got shot up myself. Let's go again. At 110. 110, yeah. I mean, I've got to try and sort of get proficient on each aircraft in its own right, sort of thing. I did fly the 110 a little bit a few months ago. Not expert on it yet. I found it was pretty good, like very fast. Very hard hitting as well, and it turns very well. IR seems to be working today, which is good. Essential, really. And as per usual, everyone's taking off straight ahead, so that's what I'll do as well, provided no one's using the runway. Usually only the ones that use the runway are the bombers, because runways are necessary for bombers, but not really for fighters. Usually the bombers struggle. They need runway, and they need flaps, and they need to be conscious to take off not with 100% fuel, otherwise they may not get airborne, may run out of runway. One thing I really like about IL-2 is the scenery. The scenery, in my opinion, is just fantastic. Very, I don't know, it's very evocative of the time and place. I'll probably head straight back to Stalingrad, I think, because that's where the action seems to be. See if I can do better this time. VR, yeah, I mean, I've heard good things about VR, and I've heard other things about VR, like that maybe it's in its infancy and it's not perfected yet. And I've also heard a lot of people asking for VR support in various video games that have it, I don't know, conditionally or partially, or haven't implemented it yet, and things like that. How is it on the eyes? Do your eyes get kind of strained from using VR? Like, isn't it like you're staring at screens that are like a centimetre away from your eyes or something like that? Like, how does it go with that sort of thing? Like, does it cause like any eye headaches or anything like that? Okay, there's the city, and the airfield that I landed at might be somewhere around here. There, could be that one. There's a couple of them in this area. That's it there, and then there's one further on. And there's also an airfield at Stalingrad itself, roughly on the nose at the moment, at the 12 o'clock. Which is in enemy territory. I gotta clean my monitor. I'm seeing planes everywhere, but they're just spots of dirt on the monitor. And what have we got up here? Yes, that's an I-16. Or an LA-5. He wants to go head to head. No. Damn, I had him there, and I was tracking him, and then the track IR just kind of spazzed out, and I totally lost him. Ah, damn it. Alright, I got hit. I was tracking that LA5, and as I was looking at him as I was banking, the image got stuck, and I totally lost where he was. That's very frustrating. Alright, one more, just one more, and then that's it. Yeah, I should ask Sony or someone to send me a free copy, and I'll test it out for them. Whoever does it, I think it's Sony does one of them. Basically say to them, Sony, please give me a free VR headset. I'm a YouTube influencer, not. You never know, they might just do it. Sony, if you're listening. Sure, that plane with the Mickey Mouse on it is Adolf Gallen's plane. Gallen, the general of fighter planes in the Luftwaffe. Now my task is to not nose over and to not crash into an artillery installation on the takeoff. Right, this is definitely going to be the last flight for tonight. I'm sorry the outcome's been pretty mediocre so far, although it's been good just cruising along and talking to you guys. I'm going to see if I can shoot something down this time though, and preferably make it back to base in one piece. Ideally you want to fly and fight until your ammo is basically run out and then return. So looking at my ammo counters up there underneath those radioactive symbols, they're not, but they look like it. So they're all showing 100%. There's that white bar, so that'll deteriorate as the ammo depletes. So I got some idea of how much ammo I've got left. Heading straight back to the action. Plane up ahead there. What's that? And there was one over there. An Bf109G up there. What's our speed? Just under 500 k's an hour at sea level, pretty much. I assume this is more or less sea level. Significance of that is the air is at its thickest, and so the ability to go fast is at its least. Like trying to run in water. Too much resistance. So that's a pretty good speed for being on the deck. One of the major assets of flying solo is you can potentially use the element of surprise and sneak up on them on the deck like this. There's the city straight ahead. Going to lower my altitude even more. Stick to the ground. There's a plane above. He's much higher though. What is he? That's the enemy airfield shooting at me there. I'm going to turn around away from that. That's someone diving down on me. Let's turn. There's a 190, a 109 above, and I've got this guy on my tail. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? There. There. Does he know I'm here? Might have lost me. He's climbing. What should I do? Anyone on my tail? Not sure. Pretty risky to chase after him. Go straight up. Are we going head to head? Does he know I'm here? Let's blast him. If I can. No, I missed him. Speed's pretty low for this kind of manoeuvre down on the deck. Don't really want to push the engine too much. I wonder how long it can stay at 82%. Probably not much longer. Let's scare him a bit. Sometimes if you shoot in front of them, it spooks them and they adjust their behaviour. And sometimes you hit them. This is also alerting everyone in the area that there's a fight going on. So it's good and bad. What is he? He looks like a Yak 1 Series 69, or maybe a Yak 1B. Like I could catch him if I go full power, but then I think I'd burn the engine. Not really familiar enough with the 109G F4 and G4 to know sort of what the limits are with the engine. Looks like he's getting the better of me energy-wise at this stage. I don't know, might have to go full power soon. Got the ability to outturn me, that's for sure, unless he makes a mistake. I think I'll go full power. Maybe for 30 seconds. That was good. Friend there finished him off. Oh dear, someone on my tail again. And I'm going to go down right on the enemy's airfield. Crap. Right, well, again, pretty inconclusive and inglorious, but that's going to do it for today. Thanks everyone for joining me on this adventure. If you like what you see, subscribe to the channel, support the channel, join, support on Patreon, and smash the like button. Join me for the next one, probably tomorrow. Again, thanks very much for joining me on this adventure. Bye for now.